Hello, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to make a card, but I kind of wanted to do a little plug for my friend and her husband. They make pens and pencils. Bring you down just a little bit here. And I just kind of wanted to show you some of the pens. Now I have their business card here, and I will show it up closer. I've marked off the phone number, so we don't have that, but you could definitely email them or find them on Facebook. But I just want to show you, and I don't know if the light, let me see if I can get some better light here, shows you how beautiful these are. Okay, that's a little better. All right, so they turn these. This is the acrylic, and here's another one. I wanted two of these, and I'm going to show you the cool thing about these. So I have two different ones of these. This was my first one, and I wanted something that was faith. So we have faith, hope, and love right here in the center band. We have crosses here, and this wood here is actually Bethlehem wood, and it comes with a certificate of authenticity, and it just twists to get the pen point out, and they're refillable. So and I like this size because my hands are starting to bother me a little bit. I like the chunkiness of them. This is thicker than that one, and I like them both, but they help my hands a little bit. That doesn't mean they'll help everybody's hands, but they help mine. So there's one of them, and I think it's just so beautiful. And these here, I also like mechanical pencils, so I love my pens when I have a favorite pen. You might be like that too. You like to keep that pen and then remember what kind of pen that is so you can buy it, replace it. These also are refillable, but these have a cool function. So this one is already set up with a pencil. It's a fat lead that I have right here. This one is set up with a pen, and what's really cool is you just push the plunger back here and tip out. There we go. And then you push it and line up your pen in there, and then you've got your pen barrel. I might get it where I like it. Get your pen barrel set up in there. And it's because I'm on camera, I use this all the time, so it's really easy to move in and out. And these are also refillable, so they come out just by pushing the plunger. So there's the pen barrel, and I can switch it to the lead. So I just push the plunger again, slide the lead in there, and then I can slide it out and bring it out to where I want it. These are the coolest ones. I love these. They make a lot of really neat pens, pencils, and other things. And the reason I wanted two of these is because I wanted to be able to have one as a pencil and one as a pen, and they just stay that way. So but yeah, I just wanted to do a plug. They're called Smith Team Turning. They're here in Fairbanks, Alaska. There are their email and their Facebook. You can find them on Facebook. They do post pens on there. They do post when they're at events, so that way you'll know where they're at. Often I will see postings, and they'll have some for sale through their Facebook page, so you can check them out. And anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get with the card. I just wanted to do a little plug. I haven't set up to do that yet, so I thought now would be a good time to do that. Okay, so I'm going to move those aside, and what we're going to do today is make this card. The recent paper pumpkin we just received had this flyer in it, and I really liked this card. Now my card isn't exactly, it's close. It isn't exactly like it, but it is close. So I thought we would make this today. I don't have the deckled rectangles. The greenery, I already put all my cards together and used all the greenery, so I don't have that. Now I could stamp and fussy cut some greenery and put it behind there, but I just kind of wanted a simple simple card, and I wanted to do some watercoloring. I do enjoy watercoloring. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and make a card, and I'm going to use a mask. I didn't use a mask on this, but I am going to use a mask. And Stampin' Up! Has some masking paper. The other side has the back on it, and it's sticky. And what you can do is you can stamp on it. I'm going to show you the masking technique with this card. You can stamp on it and then fussy cut that piece out and place it over that piece that you want to mask. So this is the piece that I've cut for my mask, is the pot. And these stamps are from the paper pumpkin. So there were two that came in the set. This one and this one. Let me move this out of the way. These two here. We're going to mainly be using ones from here, but I'm going to use the birthday sentiment, because instead of, I did make, this is the first one I made, and I did follow it and did the happy birthday on it, or happy anniversary, but this card I'm going to do happy birthday. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a piece of, so these are the card pieces that you need. You will need one piece that is this white piece is 3.5 by 4 3/4. This is crumb cake, and this piece is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then your card base. Now you could do it on the card base, but I want to emboss and add that tone on tone layer. So, but this card base is 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5.5 inches. And then your trimmed quarter, your 4 by 5 1/4 for your inside. And I usually have I have one of these little containers that I have some already cut and prepped because I know I'm going to use them. So that size. All right, so we're gonna move this aside for now. We're gonna work on this. Now what I did ahead of time, just to save time, is I stamped, the colors we're gonna use are crumb cake, orchid oasis, flirty flamingo, and granny apple green. And I'm going to try to move this up just a little bit here. There we go. So we're going to use those 4 colors, and what I did is I stamped the happy in the orchid oasis and I fussy cut it, but I did it ahead of time so you didn't have to watch me fussy cut. I'm a little bit slower when it's more detail on fussy cutting. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get my foam pad. I use the foam pad from the Stamparatus. So we're going to get the foam pad, and we are going to stamp. So the first thing we're going to stamp is the pot. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that in the Memento Black. Choose where I want it. Probably right about there. Okay. So now that I have that stamp, now we're going to mask. So I'm going to put this back on its sleeve. And then I'm going to use this floral piece right here. I'm going to go ahead and get that mounted on a block. Okay, and then we're going to take our mask. Now the mask it's not super sticky, but it is sticky enough that it will rip your paper. So it's a good idea to kind of prep it and just like put it on some stuff to take some of the sticky away. Then we're going to go ahead and place that on the picture, your pre-stamped image. And what this is going to do is going to allow you to stamp within this space here without putting the image in the pot. So we're going to go ahead and get this inked up here, this floral image. sure I have it good and inked up. And then we're gonna place our plant. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and now that we have that stamped, we can go ahead and take our mask off. And it looks like it's in the pot. It's fun. The masking is so fun. And you can reuse this over and over and over again. So I'm going to keep it so I can use it for future projects. Okay, so now that we have that done, our next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some watercoloring. I'm going to use my finer point watercolor pen. We have 3 of these watercolor brushes that come in a kit, and they have a finer point. This is a little bit of a thicker point, and this is a very, very wide point. I'm going to use, this is my favorite one, so this is the one I'm going to use. And the first thing I'm going to do, also, this is stamped with Memento ink. You probably want to use StazOn if you have it. Otherwise, Memento ink will work. It'll just run a little bit. You don't want to stay in the ink too long or put too much water on here and really saturate it. Your black will run. But as you can tell on this one, I did have a tiniest bit of running, but because I was kind of quick with it, it's fine to me. So you just want to make sure you're kind of quick with when it goes around the black edges. So the first color I'm going to use is I'm going to go ahead and use this crumb cake. And I'm going to get a little bit here on this block so I can paint that pot. Let's go ahead and move this over here. So I'm just going to squeeze this and add a little bit of water. That might have been too much. That was really happy. I'm going to wash this off and just get a little bit more ink because I don't want it to be really extremely light. There we go. There we go. That's a little bit better. That should be enough for the pot. Okay, and then I'm just going to come in and get that crumb cake in there. Now the wider brush would probably be better for this to be able to do it quickly. And this is on just basic white cardstock. The thing with basic white cardstock, when you watercolor on it, you don't want to go over it over and over again, besides the ink issue if you're using Memento, because it will peel up on you. So you just want to do it really quick and then move on to your next spot. And then I'm going to clean off my brush, and I'm just going to use my, you can use just about anything, but I'm just going to use my my little chamois here that cleans off my stamps. Okay, so the next color I'm going to use, I'm going to go with this pink for the Flirty Flamingo. I'm going to get some of that on here. Now, I don't think I did those flowers in this Flirty Flamingo, but it'd be fun. Okay, so we're just going to come in and we're just going to quickly go in and color. And I don't care if I'm getting all to the edges because I'm going to put another color on here. Grab some of that darker color here and go in there. Now I am going to grab some of this dark around here just because that's what I want, some of this other pink, a little bit brighter pink in some of these areas. Okay, I'm going to leave that. That's all I'm going to do with the Flirty Flamingo. And then the next thing I'm going to use is the Orchid Oasis. And I'm just going to come in and color on the white parts that I missed when I did the pink. Just add it randomly. Okay, there's that. So I'm all done with the flowers. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab some Granny Apple Green. And there's some on my lid, so you can squeeze your pads together and get some on the lid too and use that as your palette. Okay, now I'm going to just go in and just start coloring these leaves. All right, so we're all done with our watercoloring. When you flip this up to store, it'll stay on the lid. It won't drop into the pad and it'll dry if you store your pads this way. All right, so we're going to go ahead and let that dry while we do our other part. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to prep. We're going to do the stamping on these two. So I'm going to do tone on tone stamping. So I'm bringing back in my crumb cake. And I'm going to bring in this tall leaf piece right here. See if I can get that lined up there just right. Okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp around the edge of this because that image is going to take up a good portion of the card base. So I'm just going to come in here and flip it so that I get a different direction each time. And I'm going to get this bottom here because there's, maybe we'll do bottom up there. Okay, so there's all I need because remember that piece we just painted is going to go in the center. And then I did want to put a little bit here on this corner because this is the inside piece, just to have a little bit of something on the inside of the card. Okay. So now that that's all done, I'm going to take this and get it embossed really quick. And I'm going to use this embossing folder. This comes in a 3-pack. I don't know the name of it. It's in the online exclusives, but it's a 3-pack, 3 different 3D embossing folders. This is one of the textures. So I'm going to emboss that really quick and I'll be right back. here is this piece embossed. So let's go ahead and assemble these pieces here. So we're going to go ahead and glue that on this card front. And make sure you get plenty of glue on when it's textured or when you emboss, so that you get so it sticks really well to your card. So remember, this is 1/8 measurement, so it's going to have small border. All right, we have that attached, and now we're going to go ahead and attach this to the inside. Okay, we've got that assembled. Now I'm going to go ahead and place this on there. You see when that's on there, look at that, how that looks with the tone on tone and the texture in the back. It's just a fun card. Oh, nope, we have a little bit of more stamping to do on this. That's right. So there's this fun piece right here. It has little dots. So we're going to use that on the top of this planter just to give it a little bit more texture. And we're going to use that with the crumb cake. How fun is that? That's so fun. Okay, so that's stamped. Now the last thing we need to do is stamp the birthday greeting. And this is going to go just across here. So we need the Memento Black and the stamp set, which is right in front of my face. Actually, the birthday greeting is from this other set that came in the paper pumpkin. So I have a strip. When I cut my paper down to the sizes I needed, I have this white strip here. And I'm thinking, is that going to be too big? That'll be too big. So we can just cut it down. But how long do I want it? That's what we got to do, so you can measure how long. Probably, because I kind of want it to go under this P. Two inches. Let's see what that looks like. We'll cut this down 2 inches and then a little thinner. Yeah, that looks good. So now we'll cut this down. That's about a 1/2 inch. So let's do maybe 3/4. No, it's not 1/2 inch. Yeah, it is 1/2 inch. So it'd be 3/8, not 3/4. There we go. Let's put this birthday sentiment on there and see what that looks like. I might want to cut it a little bit thinner. No, I think that's good. That'll work, but I'm going to flip it and center it more. Okay. Now you can pop these up with some dimensionals, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and first I think I'm gonna attach this to here first. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue here. I do have a place now for my cards, so I do give them to my church for their card ministry. So my goal is to keep them as flat as possible so that they don't cost any more to send. All right, so there's that. So now I'm going to flip this over and add some glue to the back here. And attach this. The card. Now I am going to trim that. That was a little bit long there. All right, so now that we've got this all attached, we can attach this to our card base. Just kind of center that. Now you can definitely step this card up. You could add some embellishments. You could corner around the corner. I get a little too much glue right there, so we'll get that removed. And there's our card from our paper pumpkin stamps that we got, this Gloss Paper Pumpkin set. And we learned how to do a little bit of masking. And I think it turned out lovely. All right, thank you for joining me, and I will catch you on the next one.